じゃ。
悟空さんの体力は底なしですか？
王子さんこちら。
悟空さんの体力は底なしですか？
おいか結構は結構結構ぷぷぷぷ。
王子さんこちら。
これだけ動いてるのによく疲れませんね。
へへまだまだ余裕だぞ。
これだけ動いてるのによく疲れませんね。
王子さんこちら。
Microban 24.
相変わらず賑やかなやつじゃな。
今度はオラが逃げる番だ。
これだけ動いてるのによく疲れませんね。
やっぱ体動かすんが一番だな。
わしの車がうっかり壊されんようにしっかり見張っとかなきゃいかんの。
悟空さんの体力は底なしですか？
ほらこっちこっち。王子さんこちら。
おいか結構は結構結構ぷぷぷぷ。相変わらず賑やかなやつじゃな。
やっぱ体動かすんが一番だな。
悟空さんの体力は底なしですか？
王子さんこちら。
悟空さんの体力は底なしですか？
やっぱ体動かすんが一番だな。
お前さん、わしの星をスポーツジムかなんかと勘違いしとりゃせんか？相変わらず賑やかなやつじゃな。おいか結構は結構結構ぷぷぷぷ。お前さん、わしの星をスポーツジムかなんかと勘違いしとりゃせんか？
ほらこっちこっち。
悟空さんの体力は底なしですか？
悟空、少しは手加減してやるんじゃ。
ほらこっちこっち。
これだけ動いてるのによく疲れませんね。
へへまだまだ余裕だぞ。やっぱ体動かすんが一番だな。へへまだまだ余裕だぞ。
これだけ動いてるのによく疲れませんね。
悟空、少しは手加減してやるんじゃ。
王子さんこちら。
悟空さんの体力は底なしですか？
やっぱ体動かすんが一番だな。
これだけ動いてるのによく疲れませんね。
悟空はいつになったらわしらを生き返らせてくれるんじゃ。
今度はオラが逃げる番だ。
悟空はいつになったらわしらを生き返らせてくれるんじゃ。悟空はいつになったらわしらを生き返らせてくれるんじゃ。
これだけ動いてるのによく疲れませんね。これだけ動いてるのによく疲れませんね。
今度はオラが逃げる番だ。
お前さん、わしの星をスポーツジムかなんかと勘違いしとりゃせんか？おいか結構は結構結構ぷぷぷぷ。
これだけ動いてるのに よく疲れませんね。
ほらまだまだ走れっつ
悟空さんの体力は底なしですか？
悟空、少しは手加減してやるんじゃ。悟空はいつになったらわしらを生き返らせてくれるんじゃ。
王子さんこちら。
お前さん、わしの星をスポーツジムかなんかと勘違いしとりゃせんか。相変わらず賑やかなやつじゃな。
やっぱ体動かすんが一番だな。
これだけ動いてるのによく疲れませんね。悟空さんの体力は底なしですか？
王子さんこちら。
悟空、少しは手加減してやるんじゃ。
へへまだまだ余裕だぞ。今度はオラが逃げる番だ。
Yo, what's good, everybody? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going?
わしの車が
We here.
壊され
We
んように
here.
しっかり見張っとかなきゃいかんの。相変わらず賑やかなやつじゃな。
俺が鍛え直してやる。
死にたいやつからかかって
サイヤ人の強さ
Yes, sir.
思い知らせてやるぜ。
All right. Give some more people some time to come in, join up, pull up from the server. What's going on? Welcome, welcome in, man. Welcome in, welcome in. So, let's see. The game plan for today's stream is gonna be, we're gonna start off with some Q&A stuff. If people have questions and whatnot, I know I've been super silent when it comes down to a lot of stuff that involves Omega's gameplay. So I'm not gonna show everything. I'm not gonna show everything, but I will show a good, decent amount of stuff. As well. So that'll be good for like everybody to have a good gist of what's to come with the next update as well. I will be answering things for like the content creators. You know, what's gonna happen with the early release for the content creators and stuff like that. So all that will be discussed today. All that will be discussed today. Mind you, everything that you all see here is still in development. So I do want to keep that in mind as well too. So this stream was something that I wasn't planning on planning on doing originally. Yo, what's good? What's good? Like I said, this stream is something I wasn't planning on doing originally. You know, I originally was going to wait for everything for the reveal trailer, etc., etc. Release date and everything, like I said, will be discussed today as well too. And yeah, so first thing, release date. When is the planned release date for Omega? Currently, the original plan for Omega's release date was for Friday of this week. While there is so much more that I want to do for this community, and there's so much more that I want to push out for you guys, for combat wise, etc., etc. Personally, Friday is something that I don't feel like it will be a good thing because of the level of quality that I want to keep when it comes down towards Omega. So when can you guys see it? I did make a post in the server, in the Discord server, and I did tell the server that one more week will be the at most that I would need to complete everything that's needed for Omega to be prom, right? So, with just one more week left, especially like with the weekend coming up and everything, that should be perfect. So, my plan is content creators should receive they will receive the final beta. The final beta will come to the content creators this weekend. Now that is a fact. They will receive their copy this weekend. So anybody who want to see heavy amounts of gameplay, heavy amounts of content, other people's reviews, etc., etc., you can see all of that once the content creators get their hands on it. A lot of the pro players like Dr. G, etc., etc., will be getting an Akin, and you guys then will be able to see, like I said, like more gameplay, stuff like that. I will also probably be showcasing more gameplay myself on my channel with like the dev team and whatnot as well. Let's see. What can I reveal today? So when it comes down to revealing what's to come for Omega, I have hit everything that players do want to see. I've been inside of a lot of streams of different content creators like President Rose, Don Coolio. It looks pretty good. The colors, I appreciate it. Yeah. Shaders turned out fantastic. But I have lost my train of thought there. That quick. Christmas gift. But let's see. So like I said, I have watched a lot of streamers, content creators, videos of what people's been really wanting for characters, and what they want for this title. So a lot of that I have tackled. I do have, so a lot of that you guys can, like, don't worry, like everything is going to be touched, from like the pro players, to the casual players, to the role players, etc., etc. But let's get into some gameplay changes, right? Like I said, I'm not going to show all of them today. Not all of them. Not all of them. But I will show a few. Okay? So let's go over some changes, right? A lot of content creators have already seen some of these. A lot of pro players have seen some of these already. And a lot of people are so far enjoying what they've seen. The dev team we have tested this over and over and over again. Constant changes on gameplay. It's been 5 months. It's been 5 months. So what can I explain today, right? When it comes down to this next update. So if anybody did play versions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, if you play any of the previous titles, you know there was a lot of differences, right? A lot of characters had passives, unique skills that gave them different buffs. Okay. I will go more in detail with this on release stream because we will be doing a release stream as well. So as for passives and buffs, a lot of them on this update will not be touched because, like I said, I did reboot Omega from ground up, so that's a big thing as well. But certain smaller changes will be touched, like explosive waves being 2 for all characters around the board, etc., etc. Those things will be touched for balance purposes, etc., and whatnot. Yo, what's good? What's up, K Demon? Those will be touched on the next update. On this update, excuse me. Explosive waves will be changed from 3 to 2 for any character that have them for 2. So like your cycle barriers, etc., etc., will all be changed from 3 to 2. Since we are moving towards a more heavier, yes sir, Spark and Omega stream, yes sir. So since we are moving towards a more fighting game direction, but we are still keeping the anime strong, right? So let's go ahead and turn on some HUDs so people can get some ideas, right? So let's go ahead and display some HUDs now. All right. So right now, as you guys see on the screen, key values are different. Okay, we are implementing the Budokai 3 system into Omega. This means that, and this was like a part of keeping characters strong and feeling powerful. All right, so that means that depending on the character that you play, each character will have a different base key value. All right, so if we use Kid Buu, for example, if we go ahead, so if we take Kid Buu, for example, and let's say we go ahead and we drain our key out. All right, Kid Buu, just like in Budokai 3, all characters by their specific key values will auto regenerate their key up to this point. All right. This will deviate. 1 second. So this will deviate the changes from character to character. So charge beams will be implemented next update. Next update? Yeah, I should be able to get those done next update. Next update, and they will be capsules for characters. So for example, here we go. So let's say you go ahead and you drain out your key. Well, because of this, like I said, we implemented the Budokai 3 system. Now when you charge your key with that specific character, they will have a faster key recharge pull rather than prior before. So this makes it to where like certain characters will charge key a lot faster than others, than most characters. So for example, let's say we switch to Tora. Okay, so as you can see, Tora, for example, his key base stops here. Okay, so for example, if I charge key, you see it will begin to slow down, right? So this is like the same exact system, just like in Budokai 3. All right. Just like like I said, just like in Budokai 3, it's the exact same system. I'm sorry, y'all. Give me a minute. And so this helps with like again like with strong balancement, right? This is also gonna be something for androids, but we are kind of like feeling it out and vibing it out because right now from a lot of testing, androids have a hard time kind of going into Sparky mode, so we're gonna go more into that as well. Do you guys have any questions so far? If you have any questions, ask them now and I'll continue forward. No questions? Nobody got any questions? Nope, nothing? Alright, cool. Alright, so let's get into some gameplay changes, alright? So, your auto combo, alright? Auto combo has been changed, alright? So the way auto combos now work is, just like before, your character will still go ahead and knock the enemy, but we realize that effect right there is a little bit different, alright? So, to allow players to have a broader spectrum of combat, what we did was we changed the auto combos to function again. Like I said, we look at every single different fighting game, right, when we do this. So the auto combo system will function a little bit kind of like that feeling of like from Dragon Ball Fighters or like any kind of like 2D based fighting game. So that means that now when you do an auto combo, this will go into an air combo instead. Alright, so this allows for players to have a better combo mix up when it comes down to combat. Alright, so this makes it to where like now like not everything leads into a blowaway. So now that means you can do things like this. For example, okay, so now when it does come down to the auto combo, it does become more usable and it becomes more free. Yes, combat, yes sir. It does become more free for players to go ahead and have a more broader open of combat, right? So different mix up different routes, right? But that's not all that was done to that. That's not all that was done. So let's continue more with the air combos, right? So now with air combos will now have two different enders. Okay, so again, players said that they wanted more combat and they wanted more freedom of combat. Well, we brought that. So now, if you do an air combo, you have two different routes, right? And this comes down to now the players will have to go ahead and deviate between the action that the enemy is doing, right? So that means that did your opponent do a lift strike into a heavy, or did your opponent do a lift strike into a light attack, right? That's very important, and this is why. So if your opponent does a lift strike into a heavy, this will end as normal, right? Alright, cool. And then it works the same way, right? If you do the same thing, lift strike into a heavy, and you press heavy again, you'll knock the enemy down. Okay, normal. But then let's say if you go ahead and you do a lift strike into a light attack, what happens? Now your follow-up is completely different. Okay, so yep, mashing square, yep. So now your follow-up is completely different, and now this makes a different route for your opponent to go ahead and have to figure out which one you're doing. So paying attention now is a bigger, broader thing when it comes down to the combat. Are they going from a lift strike into a heavy attack, or are they going to a lift strike into a light attack? So, and this makes a big difference, right? Because now you can do things like this. And then, so this makes it to where now that everything is combo, it's cancelable, right? Also, another thing that we did was we adjusted the way how Ki Blast works, right? So your Ki Blasts are now hit confirms, right? And they will help you with extending combos. So now this makes it to where now you can go from things like classic BT3. Lift strike into this, shoot your Ki Blast into a light attack, and you can continue into a reset. And you can go on from there. Alright? Another thing that we did was we changed the way how dashing works, okay? And this was a very big thing. But are we going to be able to swap supers as equipables that are on different forms of the same character? Yes, you will be able to. That is correct. So that is something that will be staying in the previous versions of Omega. So you will still be able to go ahead and swap out your supers at will. So like for example, like all of all the new supers and ultimates that dropped from the DLC, those will all be capsules per character. So you're good. You won't have to worry about that. That'll be fine. The same thing for like the Super Saiyan 3. Yes. So again, we are working on a lot of things. A lot of things. Let's see what's next. So again, to broaden out combat even further, another thing that was returned back from the previous titles was Burst Meteor. So now you can do Burst Meteor when you're in combat. So this also gives like another option for players as well. So you can do this to this, and just like in the old games, you can now follow up just like how you would normally. Aside from Super Counter, can doing anything to get out of back combos, especially when people try resets and loops. Can we? I am working on that more effectively when it comes down to like getting out of that. I have been adjusting the way how like the super counter Tommies work and everything like that, and like what can be sidestepped, what can be stepped in, what can be stepped out. And to make it to where it's like if you read something, if you see something, you can sidestep it, step in, step out, step back. So you do have more freedom of that, and making it to where like if you want to do it like for example perception, right? Perceptions now come out a lot smoother. So like now like you can like perception very easily between like little different actions that you do as well. But yes. What's the issue of front facing combos not being true fix? I understand vanishing and super countering, but being able to block regularly kind of sucks. The issue of front facing combos not being true fixed? You mean like from the base game? So do you mean like from the base game where like how the characters like slide off of them? Yes? Okay, yes, that has been completely fixed. So as you can see, dude's right here in front of me. I can easily, no problem. No problem. It's been completely fixed. Let's see, like if I wanted to do a 1 light into a rolling hammer or 2 lights into a gut punch, the smash would get blocked. The smash being blocked is actually a animation thing. Yeah. So smash attacks being blocked is actually an animation thing. Realistically, it really comes down to like how quick like a character's animations work. So like if a character has a faster animation, it's harder to block those things as well too. Are you holding the rolling hammer? Oh, you asked it. Yeah, if you do hold the rolling hammer, you can break guard. If Key Blast or hit confirms now, it's GG's when I get your back. Have you looked into Blaster Wave type mechanic? We have been looking into the Blaster Wave type mechanic. We have. Is there going to be a way to mix supers so that they don't always get insta teleported? They're sort of useless in high level play. Actually, yes, there is. And I can show you that right now. So, since Trust is here, he's the combat tester. He knows when I'm like, holding back on, right? So, we did do something that, is better. So now, for people who want more towards their combat, if you go into sparking mode now, you can now do, something new. Well, something old, but that has been brought back, right? So now when you go into sparking mode, you can now do your super attacks, and the blast combos are now back. So this makes it to where, like, doing your super attacks is going to be more useful now than it was before. You can now also, in sparking mode, I need to get to that. I'm going to get to that too. So, the key pool for every character has been increased by 1,000. So, I know a lot of people don't really get that. So what that means is that if you look at the HP bars, right? Just think of it this way. You see 5 bars, but you actually have 6. Okay? This also means that now since there is 6 bars, right? You can now go ahead and do a super attack. Into an ultimate. The super was damn near ultimate. I mean, instant. Yeah, so that's a blast combo. So pretty much now, you have access to blast combos, and each one's gonna be different per character. So let's say if I go to, for example, if I go to Toma. And I do it on him. Every character's blast combo is going to be different. Okay? Again, there is so much. There's so much. And, you know, and that's the whole purpose of these streams, right? Another thing that we did implement that I think people's going to like is we did restore back the Budokai 3 punch, 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 punch energy. Right? So that means that now, if you go ahead and do bop, 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 right? For example, you can cancel that out into a super attack. Just like that. Another thing that's now cancelable with your super attacks is your light smashes now, right? So let's say if you're doing a combo and you do a light smash, your light smash can now go ahead and go into a super. So just like that. And then this is also so that's another thing again to make it to where making super attacks more useful for combat than rather than what they were before. There is a window. There is a window. There is a window. What's up, Billa Gaming? How's it going? How's it going? All right. Let's get into some more combat, right? So, one of the biggest things that we saw within the community is that a lot of the follow-up attacks are kind of like lackluster, right? Is the rush super / ground throw Oki a thing in Omega? Yes, it is. Super Saiyan 4 Goku had it in BT2 and BT3. Yes, it is. I like that. I do that a lot. I like that. I do that with light smashes and non-step back smash supers in base game. Other characters did, but on top of my head, he had one. Yes. So I am like going over a lot of stuff with like other creators like Akin and Grandmaster Hawk on like what was a theme in BT3, and whatever it was that is in BT3 that you can think about. I promise you, I'm working on it. I promise you, I'm working on it. So just always keep that in mind. Like I said, this is a whole complete reboot. A much more polished variant of Spark and Omega. So you could kind of say we're coming out of beta with this one. So let's go back into more into combat, right? So follow-ups are different. I just want everybody to notice, okay? They're a lot different now. Each character now has extended follow-ups. Then they're not different for every character, but it is planned that we are planning on, and I know this sounds crazy, but we're going to do this in a step-by-step format. So right now, every character has kind of like the same kind of follow-ups. The next phase is we're going to do everything in groups. So like Group A, Group B, Group C. Those three groups will then have different follow-up options. And then from there, all 200 plus characters individually will have a completely different follow-up. So this will be like in phases. So, be patient. Be patient with this. But I'm going to show what I mean by this, okay? And this, so far from what everybody have saw, this is like an amazing thing. So here we go. So all of your follow-ups, again, are completely different. So now your follow-ups now trigger more extended routes now than before. So instead of now your fly kick, your ground slash into fly kick leading to a knockaway, your ground kick into fly kick will now lead into this to allow you to continue with a combo to follow from there. Or for example, you have Rolling Hammer, and a lot of people know Rolling Hammer had a 3-hit combo. It was like 1, 2, Ki Cannon, right? Well, now if you go from if you're playing, like, for example, on PlayStation controllers, on the PlayStation controller, you will press square triangle for the Rolling Hammer, like let's say for this character, for example, and then you'll do square triangle. But then from there, if you do square triangle, you can extend that. So for example, just like that. So this leads to a whole different ball game of combo cancels, combo routes, combo potential, etc., etc. Little things like that. So, see? So everything gives you like an extended type of combo. It's the same thing for your air attacks. So your air attack runs the same way. And right there's an example, right? So now again, like I said, you have your combo potential is very much more open than what it was before. Another thing that you could do now too is your dash and ki blast, right? So your dash and ki blast kind of works a little bit different, right? You can dash and ki blast to your opponent, right, for pressure. You can now dash and ki blast, and if you press your jump button or your fly up button, right, you could do something like this. See? So now you have you can make like different kind of like mix up and Oki options now with your opponent. So you can shoot a ki blast, do this, and you can do things like that, for example, right? So And then now, again, you have more broader mix-up, more broader, way more broader mix-up with way more broader stuff. A lot of everything that from the previous version has been fixed. So, like, your key blasts now track better when you shoot them, for example. So, like, that makes it a lot better if you want to, like, do certain specific maneuvers. So, let's say if you wanted to do this into this, you can do that now. And then that makes it to where, again, like, your key blast is not just something just to throw out there. Your key blast could be used for, again, for combo potential. Remember, it's a hit confirm. So if you do this, this will automatically help you with your hit confirm because it will go into a stagger instead. Let's go into some other things. Some things that we did change, right? And I'm gonna try to show you guys this. Oh, good golly. So, a lot of characters, some characters in the game had special grabs, right? And I'm the type of person, I like things that make sense. Yes, key blasts are fixed. Yes, absolutely. So, a lot of characters have special grabs in the game. If the special grab to me makes sense, in a certain something, I'm gonna add it to that certain something. And I actually we've already discussed about broadening this mechanic further to add more little special things like this, right? So, for example, let's say you're playing as Vegeta. You're playing as Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, right? And, you know, I already showed you guys some of the extended combos. But let's say you playing as a character, again, like Blue Vegeta, and you want to, you know, get a little saucy with it, right? And there you go. So, if a character has a special grab, their special grabs will be implemented the best way we can to get those special grabs to work. Vegeta and Topos, for example, work on the ground. So the opponent's on the ground. That will work. So again, if you want stronger mix-up on your opponent, etc., etc. Hey, I appreciate it. It's been, that's the smoothest shit I ever did see. Yeah, we're working hard. It's 5 months, man. It's been 5 months in the making. So let's see. Is there anything else I can show without getting shot by the team? Let me see. Anything else so I don't get shot, because I am being watched. Let's see. Alright, let's see. There's gonna be a bunch of new stages. On this here, I'm not going to show any of the new stages as of right now. And there's gonna be a lot of new, let's say, character customizations coming, but I can't show those either today either. But I can definitely say it has been everything that people wanted, requested. You are being watched. But yeah, I can definitely say that it's a lot of the stuff that people did want has been implemented. Oh, another thing I could show. So Rush Energy Wave, right, has been adjusted. So I can show you an example. So Rush Energy Wave has been is this Namcops or Dark Side watching you? Blink twice. No, it's not. So Rush Energy Waves, right? They've been adjusted. So Rush Energy Waves are now combo extenders. So now this makes it to where you can use them inside of combos now, and you don't have to worry about that. Don't worry, they're not broken. So you can, if you do it twice, the enemy will knock out of it. But again, they're more usable. So now, instead of before, now you can do this, into this, and into this, and it all works now. So, pass me the beer, chat. Alright. Now, this is a hard one. This is another one. So, your Dragon Dash Strike. It's a soft knock. It's not a heavy knock, it's a soft knock. So you can't get out of it. It's a soft knock. So Dragon Dash Strikes, if a lot of people know, is this. Okay. Again, this is also another additional combo extender. Okay, so again, mix-ups for days, right? And just to show you that these mix-ups do work, right? I'm gonna take the opponent and I'm gonna put him on guard after attacks, right? So, does the full charge do a knockback? Yes, the full charge version still does the knockback. So, Dragon Dash Strikes. Again, more combo potential, more combo follow-ups, more things you can do, right? So, you can now do this, for example, into a combo, alright? And just like in your traditional fighting games, right? If this is blocked, and as you can see, it does connect, right? So, but if they block it, that puts you guys back into a 50-50, right? So now this makes it to where even if they do block it from the front, right? It does make it to where that it still comes down to a 50-50 to where who has to do what. But if your opponent has to get to your back and they do this as an extension, etc., etc. So it's easier for me to do because I have been practicing it a lot. Again, this is to open up the door for more pro players, right? For things for them to mess around with, more tech, more tactics, more tricks, etc., etc. Different ways. The same way how you can now do a lift strike to a dragon dash for a pickup. So your mix-up options are too much sauce. So your mix-up options are broad, right? And I guess like again, like the streams will help a lot more with having players have a better understanding of the combat in Omega rather than just the videos, and people have to play the guessing game, right? So this is actually pretty good. Let's see. You guys want to see some combat? Trust, if you're available, you could give them a battle, so they can see actual gameplay. Bet that. Yep, you can boot up the Parsec, and Once you're ready, we can get them. We can get them some. We can give them a set. We can give them our first of 3. That's fair. We can give them that at least. Shout out TK. All right. So.
ご飯もいるじゃねえか。
This is the new title screen. This is how the engine looks. Again, a lot of it is still in development, but this gives you guys a idea on the graphical engine, on how things look.
皆さんがどれほど強くなったか近くで観察させていただきましょう。
強いやついるかな。
You like that Goku and Gohan don't look like super mutants. All right, he's ready. All right, let me set this up.
Gohan,
all right, Trust, you can go ahead and connect.
腕試しってワクワクしますね。
All right, you gotta press some buttons, Trust.
強いやついるかな。
Gohan, お前は誰と戦うのが楽しみだ。
情けない負け方したらピッコロさんに怒られちゃうな。よし、気合い入れて頑張るぞ。
神としての務めを果たしましょう。
俺がやってやる。
You can choose this one, and it will still work. There you go. I see spoilers, big spoilers. Hey, I'm late here. Don't mean to know, but will this have toggleable features for certain mechanics? Go ahead and press the button. Yeah, check your controls. Is Charlotte going to be getting new forms? Yes, Charlotte's new forms are still planned.
仕方ないですね。
Toggleable features for the mechanics? Realistically, probably not. A lot of it is like BT3 and Raven Blast stuff, so...
食らいなさい。
やるじゃねえか。
決戦士相手にこの程度。
せいこらえそれ。
覚悟はいいな。
やりますか。失礼しますよ。それ見通しが無駄です。
俺が貴様を倒す。この海に投げるようなパワーは貴様は
なかなか。それ
よっ
お返しです。
ダメな。ぬるいんだよ。ここだ。ダメな。
はいこらえ。まずい。食らいませんよ。
やる。
付き合いです。付き合いです。失礼失礼。
ぬるいんだよ。いつまでも寝言をございるんじゃねえ。やれ。布はてめえだ。
まずい。やりますね。
ここだ。ダメな。ぬるいんだよ。
畳みかけます。外しません。命だけは助けましょう。己の悪事を恥じ悔い。
Boats, what's going on, man?
参ります。付き合いです。しませんよ。どうですか。食らいませんよ。そんなお返しです。畳みかけます。
やるじゃねえか。
食らいませんよ。やりますね。付き合いです。食らいなさい。付き合いです。付き合いです。お返しです。参ります。
やるじゃねえか。
食 程度に遅れは取りませんよ。
ほんだら
お返しです。食らいませんよ。それせいやそれたやはたそんなはいいやそれやった突きありです。お返しです。
や
はたはいそれせいは命だけは助けましょう。己の悪事を恥じ悔い改めなさい。
The mixable animations, super counters are still right now still being developed for changes. We haven't fully come to a final decision. I know right now we're planning on doing it very similar to BT3 as of right now, but that's really about it.
よかろう。ちょっとだけ遊んで。どこのドイツか知らんが、このピッコロ大魔王様に歯向かうとどんな目に遭うのか思い知らせてくれるぞ。へい当たるよ。貴様やってくれたな。ぬるい。
さてあっさりと殺してやろう。
こんなバカなこと無駄だ。ほらほらほら、その程度か。無駄だ。大魔王に逆らえばどうなるか教えてやる。終わりだ。バカな。これは
私に勝てるものなど存在しないのだ。
Yeah, if I could implement that, Polar Bear, if I could implement something like that, I for certain would.
さてあっさりと時間稼ぎはさせんぞ。ほらほら当たると思って愚かだ。当たると思って魔漢光殺法すぐに楽にしてやるぞ。くらえそら化け物か。残念。私に勝てるものなど存在しないのだ。
Yeah, I said when it comes down to re-implementing that mechanic, I would definitely look into it. When it comes down to like the clashes. Ooh, good grab.
当たると思う。
さてあっさりと殺してやろう。まだまだ変わるぞ。いや最強の魔人のほらほらほらこれが宇宙最強の力だ。ほら かったなバカ
Alright, man, you have a good one.
終わったコッパみじんだ
Paper Moon. Alright, we can do one more. One more.
行くぞゴテン頑張ろうねトランクスくん
Moon. Trust, ready when you are, man. Press is making my controller bug out. Oh, bad. About to pause. You're good.
いいよ僕がやる
あんまり攻撃してくんなよ攻撃
ここまでやるとはね
消してやるぞ。
Damn.
中途半端な力じゃ何もできないよ。よく覚えておく。
甘い。
そら、手触りだ。よいしょ。手触りだ。なめるな。そら、手触りだ。なめるな。
Mecha Frieza looking fire.パワーで消してやるぞ。よいしょっと。無駄だよ。パワーで消してやるぞ。無駄だよ。なめるな。一気に肩をつけてあげるよ。無様に違い。いい運動になった。中途半端な力じゃ何もできないよ。よく覚えておくんだね。 Play one with Nova. Alright, so I am choosing a darker map on this one. This is for me to show everybody with the new graphical engine that this does makes it to where it's easier to still see your characters. rather than them being mega dimmed down, etc., etc. So like it makes it easier for the player to also be able to actually like focus on combat rather than the character and an environment blending in with the character as well. Does this mod affect combat scaling at all? I have high key hate that at some point they patched the vanilla game to where supers do almost no damage even if followed up by basic rush strings. So now when you go into Sparky mode, in Sparky mode there is a combo multiplier when you do enter Sparky mode. So this makes it to where like it kind of turns Sparky mode more into like a burst mode. You can kind of think like in like 2D fighting games. So once you enter Sparky mode, that's the point where like all of your combos and your combat and your damage kind of scales a lot stronger once you enter Sparky. So this is why like you see us like when we go into Sparky mode, we are fighting more inside Sparking than just like supers and stuff like that because damage scales higher.
今楽にしてやるぞ。
Nice.
ドラゴンサンダー。
I love it because they want to remove people spamming Rush.
力比べのパワーを見せてやろう。
Nice. It's really bizarre to smack someone for 5 times and then hit a rush attack for 3k. Right, yeah. So like I said, I don't know if you just joined Fielton, right? Fielton. But yeah, so when you go into Sparking mode, in Sparking mode, every character will get a combo multiplier buff when you do enter Sparking mode. And always remember, like, this is still like not the final build. This is still not the final build, like I said. There will be a lot of things that will be a lot, like some things that will be like pretty different on once public release drops. Yes, it is Sparking Omega. DJ Miller, I could not tell you that. The server invite is inside the description of the stream. Same. It's Monsu. I'll drop a link to this Discord server in the chat.
Damura, ツバには気をつけないと。
さっさとかかってこい。
こっちだ。 入りました。思いっきり行くぞ。まだやれる。
Look at you now, enjoy your stream, Theo. I'm a Dollar Omega on my Rogue Alley. Theo, before you end stream, let me get one set in. I'm actually a bit over my time, paper, but you will have plenty of time next stream, on release stream.
な小僧、もうおしまいか？
That's gonna be it for today's GG to you, Trust. That's gonna be the end of today's showcase stream. And with that, I can also let you guys also hear the new character selection screen music that is coming. Shout out to Big Bird for making this for us. And I hope you guys enjoyed, man.
悟空さんが本気を出したら、会場は
Mega's
消
right
し飛
around
ん
the
でしま
corner.
うんじゃ。
I do appreciate all the support and love, man, from everybody. Thank you very much.
ご飯、お前は誰と戦